welcome to Adventure 82. You join me in St Helier, Jersey. This is the beginning of a series we're going to be doing following the Jersey Railway, otherwise known as JR&T. We'll be starting just over there behind me where it used to terminate, and we'll work our way up the line from there. Right, so behind me you can see the station building. Some basic information on the railway itself is opened in 1870. Well, that plaque over there, which I'll show you in a minute, actually says opened in 1895. The railway itself actually started in 1870. Started being built in 1869. The 1895 date on the plaque, which I'll show you again, like I say, in a moment, actually refers to when it was unified with the top line up at the St Albans end. But we'll talk about the unification of the two lines once we get to the St Albans station at the other end of this. Right, here you see the front of the station. Not much has changed apart from the new shop front entrances here. The entrances locations are exactly the same as they were back in the day, but obviously not a shopping centre. The station itself would have had the platforms inside, but not with this front originally. The original front was actually made of wood, and you just had like a canopy section over it, kind of arched, to protect you from the rain while you're waiting at the platforms. So if we go inside, should also point out, actually, I mentioned the plaque before. This is the plaque I was telling you about that commemorates this used to be part of the railway just there. Right, so if we go on inside, this here, you would have actually had a side entrance here to come into the station. Right. This is the whole platform area. You can see there where they demolished parts of the old slaughterhouse to make space for the station itself. This, as far as I'm aware, is actually one of the original roofs. But you would have come in through there. You would have had your side entrance just there, the one I showed you before. The other one would have been this power door here, with the grates in it. And then, apologies for the fast turnaround there. Further down here, about here also, it levels out, which is where you would have had your platforms. And then this side would have still remained the slaughterhouse. You would have had actually a wall separating the two, so you would have had the platforms this side. And if we go over this way to where the walkway is, that way you would have had the slaughterhouse. Now if we turn around again, to take you out this way, this gate wasn't here. There was actually a wall. There's an old picture I have, one after they built the front that's on there now, with the offices on top, which used to be the offices for the actual station and the railway itself. And there's another older one with the wooden frontage on for you to see as well. And this gate wasn't actually here. There was actually a wall up the front there. You can see there where the drain pipe comes down, where the overlap was, where the wall used to be. Just didn't notice actually. Looked interestingly, there's looks like, I don't know, it's a hidden door or something there in the side of the original building. I don't know what's behind that. Anyway, so if we come further down here, you can see this hasn't changed an awful lot. Still the old granite building. This was a slaughterhouse office right next door to the station here. And then if I take you across through here, take you out a bit further this way, and if we turn around, I can actually show you here. Oh, they've still actually got even the old school chimney still there, everything as it was built back at the late end of the 1800s. So They really knew how to build things back then, most definitely. Right, if I walk you past the front area here, you can see now, outside the front of the station, this actually would have been a park, and then further behind, just behind here past the bushes where you can see the buildings, that's the actual weight bridge. That's where they used to weigh the potatoes, coal, etc. as it came in from the actual docks just across the way here, and that would have all been weighed. And there was actually some lines that went down towards the docks as well where they used to pick up freight, etc. But if I show you that way, can't really show you that today, as you can see, because it's all tents and stuff up, because we've actually got the boat show this weekend, so I can't show you that just right now. But as I say, if we go this way, the outside doors still remain for the actual station entrance. You can see here, that's the original side of the building. I'll zoom in slightly for you. So you can see there, that's the actual building there. That's the original office side door there. And if we pan across, right, where this bit is here, that's where there used to actually be a second side door. That bit was knocked down and rebuilt when they put in the new bus station office blocks, and then of course the shopping centre behind. But there would have been a second door there. Up until the late 80s, the section over here, which is now the bus station, ironically, where the platforms used to be here, there was a side entrance there as well. That was actually used to store the buses. They removed part of the wall, filled in where the platforms used to be, and then they used to store the buses there. The ones that weren't being used, and the rest were actually parked up at the Weybridge area. If we go back across the road, I'll just show you that one interesting original feature left on the station door. Just come back out a bit slightly there for you. There, you still have got the actual original iron step there, which would have been put in all those years ago when they first built this facade back at the late 1800s. Right, so that's it for this area. There's not much else to see apart from the bus station behind me. So once we get past the bus station, there is a small section of the original wall there I'll show you, but apart from that, there's not an awful lot until we get across the road, and then we'll go and I'll show you exactly the route the train would take. But as of right now, it would have come out the station just behind me here, and then it would have gone straight up and then followed the coastal beach wall, which, as I mentioned earlier, was built by the State Train Company anyway. So we'll just follow that up now to West Park Station's location, and that's where we'll then finish this video, and the next one we'll pick up with information on that station, and we'll move on from there. Right, so we're actually at the side entrance to the bus station now, where the buses actually go in when they're finished. And if you look just behind the buses, I can't go any further unfortunately because I'm not allowed through the gates. It's for drivers only. But that granite wall there you can see, and you can see the new shopping centre popping out from behind that wall. That wall is one of the original Jersey walls from the railway itself that would have also been part of the platform area back in the day. There was 2 platforms inside the station at the time. As far as I can tell, I'm sure if I'm wrong someone in the comments will tell me, but as far as I've found from pictures there is 2 platforms there, and that's one of the original walls. The platforms, like I say, one would have been on the shopping centre side where we went in earlier on in the video, and the other one would have actually been on this side. So what we'll do now, thank you bus, What we'll do now is we'll work our way up this way, because that's the way the train used to go. So we'd have come out the station at the back end here, would have come through, would have moved out of here, and would have followed here. This is another one of the original walls from when the station was still here. It's actually quite hard to tell as I'm tracing this which walls were, some of them anyway, which was slaughterhouse and which was station, but I'm pretty sure this was part of the station section. Again, this area massively developed since back then. It's been massively developed since I was a kid in the 80s, to be honest. But right, if you look across the road, if I zoom in, you can see there, that granite wall there in front of the office block, that's the original beach wall. You have your granite stones there, and then there would have been a slightly shorter wall which they've removed to put in the trees there just in front, next to the granite. That would have been where the shorter wall would have been, and then the train would have followed along that side of the shorter wall. So what we're going to do now, we're going to follow that, like I say, on up to the West Park area, and then we'll leave this video there. Right, so now we're across the road. You can see here the original granite floor there, and then there's like a strip here with the drainage there on the floor. That would have been a shorter wall there. It does come back, the shorter wall, as you get further down, and that would have been the split between the walkway here we have of the original granite and then the newer granite here, which was put in when they built the office block, office blocks. So where I am now, the train would have gone straight down this way and followed the natural curve, as you can see here, of the wall that would have been there, and then gone up the line past where they're currently building another office block next to the one they've just done. This one, as you can also see, the wall's been cut twice, in fact. Once just a bit further up from here for the entrance to the building, and then once here. The reason for that is this actually used to curve round and used to go further down this way, and it used to be this used to be the beach wall, so everything actually behind this wall now was actually originally sea and beach. So you would have, back in the Victorian times, this walkway was put in again when they built the railway. They would have walked along here, and then to their right here they would have had the railway going alongside them. This is here is you can see where I said they've cut it again to make the entrance for the new office block, but this would have obviously been continuous. There wouldn't have been this opening in the wall originally. Right, so we'll go up past the building site, which is ahead of us here, as you can see, and then I'll show you some remains of what was there, because before this was even here, the track bed actually became a road. When you can still see that original road and the original track level that the road was built literally just straight on top of further down. So we'll move down and we'll see. I'll show you that next. Past it, and you can see how high up I am, and then how it dramatically slopes down. This is the road level. This is actually also the track bed level was. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but if I zoom in, you can see how this was part of a dual carriageway, and you can still see the faint white lines as well from back in the day when this used to be part of the dual carriageway, which I don't know if you can see, but that's back over in the distance. They curved it round and worked around into the reclaimed area when they built the area behind the seawall. Also, what you can see here is, you can see now this lower wall I will show you, because there's your higher wall with the fence in front of it at the minute for the building, and then you've got the lower wall here, and it's on this side of the wall where the motorbikes are, your train used to be, and then between the two walls on this side is where you still have, in fact, your original walkway going up, although it does get cut through at the end by a road now that comes out onto the new diverted area for the Esplanade. So I'll work our way a bit further up, and I'll meet you then once you've crossed the dual carriageway. Hopefully it won't be too noisy. So as we're coming up to the end of this section now, you can see now the dual carriageway that I said's been diverted round. You just come straight down past here. So your train would have come from where this kind of bush is here behind that wall, would have gone straight through, straight across what is now the dual carriageway that wasn't actually there at the time, and then on, following alongside the beach wall there, just as it straightens out and through to where you can, I think, should be able to just about see where the bus is there in the distance. What we're going to do now is we'll cross this road and I'll then rejoin you on the other side. Right, so we're now across the other side of the road. The train continued on behind me. We'll go as far as where the duck terminus is now. I'll show you those as well if you want to see them. They'll take people across to Elizabeth Castle, which will be just before the West Park Station site. And then, like I said, the next video will continue on from the West Park Station side, and then we'll move up along the line from there. Right, so as we walk our way along where the line used to go, you can see that it's not really any trace along here anymore at all. The only reason you kind of know where it went is because you have this small wall here, but of course it's all buried now under this side of the dual carriageway, but it would have gone straight along the black area here, the dual carriageway. If you take a note here, at the end of the office building there's a hotel there, that's the Grand Hotel. That'll become important in the next video when I show you some pictures of the old West Park, Westmount station. Because it's about the only thing really that still exists around here, bar the beach walls from back when that station was still here. But if we keep moving along down here, the station itself, despite the beach wall, which we're seeing as we walk along here, did have a lot of issues with flooding. So, especially in the winter months, when the tides are much, much higher. If you live along the coast there in England, or anywhere really, you'll know that tides are much worse in the winter than they are in the summer. So as a result, they actually didn't do a winter service. There were certain months of the year where they didn't run, or they did a sparse service just to accommodate customers due to the problematic running of the railway line and the fact that it was following the coastline. So you can see now it's now branched off and actually become a cycle track. The cycle track is a relatively good indication of where the trains used to run. Only train running down here now, of course, though, is the road train just to the side of me here. If you look just here, actually, that amphibious vehicle there, that's actually what I referred to before. That's what they call the duck over here. That's the little amphibious vehicle that does both land and sea, takes people across to Elizabeth Castle, which is just out across the sea over there. So what we'll do is we'll just go slightly further up because the West Park Station area is just beyond that building there. You can see in front of it the plant, which is now public toilets. So we'll finish off up there and then we'll continue on at the West Park Centre on the next video. Right, so we've reached the end of the line, well this section of the line anyway. The West Park site would have been just behind me. We started behind me here, but the main site was just behind the camera there. So with Elizabeth House in the background here, I'll say goodbye to you for this video. If you have any comments or you have anything else you'd like me to cover once we finish this series, please do let me know down below. And if you could subscribe to Help, a new video channel, that would be awesome too. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.